Today's show is presented by Magic Spoon. And guys, if you want to get $5 off your first order, go to magicspoon.com/chat. Get $5 off. I'm rocking with the seasonal maple waffle. It is fall, and who doesn't love some pancakes? Come on.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
ride here. So try that flavor. Try all their different flavors. Their cereal is fantastic. It's healthy, and it tastes delicious. magicspoon.com/chat. Get $5 off your first order. All right, well, Ben Simmons, the drama continues, Chase. I'm just going to let you do your thing here. A lot to unpack. Suspended for the season opener. Where are we at with Ben Simmons and the 76ers?
Well, these new developments continue to come out. We're recording this during our live shows. We go live on any given Thursday, every single Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Daryl Morey just got off the air on 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia, a radio station that I actually used to intern at, and was very, very honest about the Ben Simmons situation right now. I'm just going to pass along these notes really quickly. Daryl Morey saying we actually are expecting him to be at shoot-around tomorrow prior to the home opener against the Brooklyn Nets on Friday. He also said to Mike Missanelli, right now, if we traded Ben Simmons like he wants, all we would get back is role players, and that would make no sense. This is telling. I would be prepared to strap in because it will take a while. Simmons is a difference playmaking. And this can go on for 4 years. That's something else that Daryl Morey had said. And, quote, people should buckle in. This is going to go a long time. I think that's some hyperbole. I think he's going to get dealt at some point this year. I would just be shocked if he actually suits up in a Sixers uniform. But the developments over the last couple of weeks, Harrison, have been crazy, so nothing surprises me at this point, especially when you look at that timeline.
Yeah, and this timeline really goes back to the end of the postseason where he flamed out in that series against the Hawks. He was really bad the whole playoff run, especially from the free throw line. Could not make a free throw. Doc Rivers basically giving a non-answer when asked if he could be a championship point guard.
The pass.
Yes. So he has a wide open dunk and he passes it for some reason. So you have that playoff disaster. Then you get to August. He flies out to Los Angeles.
So the team officials fly out to Los Angeles.
to go meet with him.
Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, Josh Harris, Elton Brand. They meet with him and they try to plead with him to come back to Philadelphia to rejoin the team. Now, at that point, he had already packed up his apartment in Philly.
Yeah.
He had put his house up for sale, but they fly out there to try to bring him back. Not successful at all.
Yeah, so then you get closer to the season. He's basically gone for all of training camp. He just shows up, by the way, after his training camp holdout, and someone gets in touch with, was it Doc Rivers or Daryl Morey? Hey, Ben Simmons is outside for a COVID test. What? We didn't even know he's in Philadelphia right now, so you've got that going on.
Showed up out of nowhere, unexpected. Elton Brand is just chilling inside the Wells Fargo Center, gets a text, and they're like, hey, Ben Simmons is here. He's ready to report. Elton Brand's like, what? We weren't expecting him to report. That's why everything with this situation is just so crazy right now. And earlier on this week, there were a lot of reports about him getting kicked out of that practice by Doc Rivers, him basically declining to Doc Rivers' face that he wasn't going to partake in any of these drills. This is what The Athletic had to report on Ben Simmons. On Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, Simmons was the first 76ers player to leave practice. No surprise there. He simply came and went, changing clothes and not even showering at the team's facility. Simmons showed up to the 76ers practice on Tuesday with a similar disposition, disengaged from everyone, spending time alone, and displaying the same stoic face. Rivers wanted Simmons to take a spot on defense during his walkthrough drill, and Simmons shook his head and refused. So Rivers asked once more, Ben, get in. Then basically Ben Simmons said, no. So Doc Rivers said, go home. Now, some more additional reporting to what happened today.
This is like middle school, a middle school coach trying to get that kid that's not really sportsy to participate in practice, and he's like, no, I want to go play Xbox. That's what this sounds like.
And today he shows up, and the Sixers aren't supposed to have an organized practice because they play tomorrow, but he was supposed to show up, do some individual workouts, and he shows up to the facility, and he's like, you know what? My back hurts. So he gets treatment on that. The Sixers trainers clear him to partake in those drills. Then he just dips and goes home.
You know whose back should hurt? Joel Embiid's for carrying Ben Simmons all of last year's playoff run and still almost getting them to the conference finals. Let me just say this, and I know you're the Philly guy. This is basically your show right here. Ben Simmons is one of the biggest frauds of all time after how he's acted in the last 3 or 4 months. I'm not sure I can ever remember an athlete carrying himself in a manner to this level of embarrassment. This is beyond anything we've ever seen. At least James Harden last year, yeah, he came in overweight. He's still dropping 35 a night until the Rockets traded him. It's just an absolute joke. And then you've got the latest reports. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get out of Philadelphia. He doesn't care. Just get me out of there. I just think it's an absolute disgrace at the end of the day.
And I think this is going to last a little while, as Daryl Morey had said, because Daryl Morey is a good businessman. Daryl Morey is very, very aggressive. He wants an all-star player back, and he had said just moments ago on 97.5 The Fanatic that if we were to trade Ben Simmons right now, the market is so thin that we wouldn't get basically anything back for a player who first team all defense the last 2 years and has made it to 3 all-star games. And I understand, because I hail from this area, that Philadelphia isn't the easiest place to play. But I thought the center for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jason Kelce, said it best today when he basically said and took a direct shot at Ben Simmons, saying, all you have to do is hustle and give effort. Never come up with excuses. Own up to your mistakes and just try to be the best player that you can be. Ben Simmons has never done that. And instead of being fearless, Ben Simmons has always just been fearful. And this kind of dates back to a scouting report at LSU. And Jonathan Givony, this scouting report starting to circulate, had some concerns about Simmons, how he handles adversity, how he responds to challenges, how in big games he kind of just folds. That goes to show you he's not fearless, Harrison. He is fearful.
Yeah, the lack of competitiveness and being a competitor is really telling right now. The season's already here, and he just has no interest in playing. I think it's an absolute joke. Pick a side. Ben Simmons or 76ers. Type BS for Simmons. Type 76 for the Sixers. If you're typing BS, I guess you're part of Ben Simmons' family, because this isn't even a debate for me. I think he's carrying himself in a total. It's beyond unprofessional. It's just embarrassing at this point. So let us know. BS for Simmons or 76 for 76ers. Something that's not even a question at all is how good and how healthy Magic Spoon cereal is.
Damn
and
right.
If you guys want to get in on the best cereal in the game, get $5 off at our link below, chatsports.com/chat. Chase, they have a ton of magicspoon.com/chat, excuse me. Tons of different flavors available. You got the blueberry, you got the cocoa. I'm rocking with the seasonal maple waffle here as well. Do you have a favorite flavor? If you had to pick one, what are you rolling with?
So my favorite treat is to get some cocoa, roll it up into some peanut butter balls, throw it in the freezer for 20 minutes. My favorite flavor, though, straight up, if I'm just throwing some milk in there, it's got to be fruity, which is right on your screen here.
Exactly. And hey, if you don't like those flavors, tons of others are available. magicspoon.com/chat. Get $5 off your very first order, and you will enjoy the best cereal on the planet. You can't get the stuff at the grocery store. Got to order it online, and you might as well use our link to get $5 off. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at with the latest drama. Let's look at some potential teams that the Sixers could trade him to eventually if it's not going to happen in the near future, and maybe a couple of trade packages as well. You cooked up the Pacers, Raptors, T-Wolves, Trailblazers, and the Spurs. Any reason why these teams specifically?
There's a big reason why these teams are on this list, because these are a lot of the teams who have been engaged in some of these Ben Simmons trade talks over time. And when you look at the landscape of these individual rosters, all of these organizations have players that they could send back for Ben Simmons that are salary cap matchers. So the Pacers have been involved in some of these discussions throughout the last several months. So too have the Toronto Raptors, T-Wolves, Trailblazers, Spurs, all for different reasons, including different trade packages, but all are pretty intriguing packages. So I went into the ESPN trade machine and I did cook up a bunch of different trade ideas. We're going to relay some of them to you and then also react to some of these trades that I think realistically could happen and make sense for Philadelphia. So the number one trade idea that we're bringing to you, the Sixers would receive Domantas Sabonis, who was an all-star last year, very underrated, very good player, as well as Karis LeVert, who gives you a scoring option at the wing, and then the Pacers would get Ben Simmons. This works from a financial standpoint, Harrison.
Yeah, look, I mean, Daryl Morey just said that he doesn't believe you could get an all-star back at this point, so something would have to change to get a guy like Domantas Sabonis, who was an all-star last year, and it wasn't a fluke. This has been a good player for some time now. Karis LeVert is a nice young player as well. I'm a big fan of Sabonis. He's a beast. I think he's one of the best young up-and-coming bigs in the NBA. He continues to get better. Now, could you poach him away from Rick Carlisle? Would Rick Carlisle, who is now the Pacers head coach, want to deal with the drama queen that is Ben Simmons? I don't know. I think that's a fair question to be asked. I think the package makes sense if you're getting max value or close to it for Ben Simmons. Would Indiana take that right now? Probably not. You'd have to probably get closer to the trade deadline, but I think from pure value, that could be a possibility. Let's take a look at the second trade you cooked up.
Yeah, trade idea number 2. It's a player-for-player swap. Toronto has been flirting with trading away Pascal Siakam for a long time. Their salaries are almost identical. And yeah, while ideally for Philadelphia, you want more floor spacing and guys who are more of a creator than Ben Simmons, and Pascal Siakam doesn't really fit that category, but he's worked so hard over time on his game and it stretches offensive game out to the perimeter. He's a very good defensive player as well. I think Siakam could be a nice little return for Ben Simmons. And then our last trade idea is with the Portland Trail Blazers. This is probably one of the more popular ones out there. It does not include Damian Lillard, though. Instead, it would include C.J. McCollum, former 76er Robert Covington, a.k.a. Rocco going back to Philly, as well as Nasir Little and Larry Nance Jr. There's been a lot of conversation about Nasir Little having a breakout campaign, so that could be a good haul for Philadelphia. The Blazers then receive the monster salary of Ben Simmons as well as Tobias Harris
Big
to
contract.
make up for some of those contracts that you're absorbing, and the Blazers would also get Shake Milton. So here, Philadelphia is getting a playmaker at the end of shot clocks, the end of games in C.J. McCollum, a 3-and-D guy in Covington, and then two very good complementary pieces in Little and Nance. What are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, I've always been a big fan of McCollum. Now, I've become lukewarm on him next to Damian Lillard. I think that duo needs to be split up, so this could end up being a win-win. I like getting Covington back, too, because obviously, as much as we're bagging on Simmons, you're going to miss his defense if you trade him. So you get some of that back with a guy like Rocco, who's an excellent defender, can also shoot the 3-ball as well. But I thought you made a good point. We've talked about this time and time again. The Sixers in crunch time, sometimes you just need a dude that you can give the ball to at the top of the key and say, hey, go get us a bucket or go create a play for us. C.J. McCollum can do that. You can't really put Joel Embiid 30 feet from the basket consistently. Sometimes you can, but consistently and say, hey, go win a game for us. C.J. McCollum can do that, though. Is he a number one? No. But can he be a closer? I think so, especially you pair him next to Joel Embiid. That one's intriguing to me, Chase. I think that is the one. If you could get McCollum's 25 points per game scoring in here, that feels like a difference-making type of trade.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So which one do you think is the best? If it's the Pacers trade with Domantas Sabonis, Karis LeVert coming back, type IND, Pascal Siakam with the Toronto Raptors, type TOR, or that Blazers haul, type POR? Get those votes in the comment section right now.